family playing here on Sunrise 103.4. That was David Guetta and BB Rexa. Just gone 10:49, and it's time for our special interview. And this morning I have two young gentlemen who are making waves in the music scene with their new track 777. B.I.P and Malek are two rappers hailing from Durban. Phoenix-born Ryan, B.I.P SA, is a skilled rapper and musician. The passion rapper, whose stage name was inspired from his high school hip-hop group Ballers Inc. production, is also a financial accountant by profession. B.I.P's first song, Number One, was released in 2011. He has performed with well-known music artists aka Casper Neovest and Nasty C, as well as shared the stage with TRO. B.I.P has also performed at some major events including Summerfest and Aquafest. Now, South African-born rapper and music artist Malek, from 7911 Records, made his debut in the music industry through his single Girl Comes Through. His music is an artistic expression of his views on social ills and is also influenced by his own life stories and the community he grew up in. It gives me great pleasure to welcome B.I.P and Malek to studio. Good morning.
How's it, How are you doing?
We're good, thank you. Now, let's get into the question. Who is B.I.P and who is Malek?
Okay, who am I? Okay, so what do you want to know about my journey? What do you want to know?
Everything that you can share with us.
Okay, where do I begin? Okay, if you asked me this question 5 years ago, I would never have told you I'm going to be a musician, rapper, or even make music or be on radio, if anything. So I got my degree at Howard a few years ago. Basically, I studied BA, I got a law degree, and I thought that was going to be the thing, and then I had to switch out because I just felt like there was more for me. I always had this dream of basically making music. I think from the time I was a kid, there was this thing in me because of my dad, especially. My dad basically introduced me to all of the genres. I mean, from hip hop to country music. We wake up sometimes, listen to Bob Marley, the next day it's hit 'em up, It's like that. So he basically influenced me on all these types of music, but it was hip hop especially that I basically resonated with. And I first did a show when I was in high school, just a rap show. I never thought it would be serious. But then as the years went on, due to where I was staying and I said the social ills, the kids in our place, and how the drugs and everything just being hectic. What I wanted to do is express myself and use my time to write. It wasn't even rap or make music, it was write. So that was my thing. So I would just write how I feel all the time. And it was not until possibly 2019, 2018 that I said, you know what, I'm gonna try this. I'm not scared anymore. And I just put it out there, put some music out there, and the reaction I got was phenomenal actually. And from there I just kept it going. I just pushed. I could be more focused, but the main thing is focus. You just gotta stay focused on your dreams,
Well, the most important part is that you got started.
Yeah,
that's an amazing journey so far. And yourself, B.I.P?
So for me, it started a little bit earlier. It started with a group of our friends where we used to have in school, high school, we used to have that June holiday, which used to be 3 weeks.
Yes.
So that used to be a winter period, and then what happened was we used to come out in the afternoon, at night, and just make up one of those fires, and we started off just sort of cypher type of stuff, but where we sort of cypher type of stuff, but we would make fun of each other, and from there we realized that hey, we were good at this, and one day one of my friends came. There was a local talent show, Phoenix Got Talent, and he said, you know what, let's just enter and see what happens. And we finished off second in that competition, and we've got a good feedback from people, which we were surprised about. So
yes.
From there it just went on, and then I think that era was the 50 Cents, the Lil Wayne era. So at that time that was cool. So that was the music that we gravitated to in that age group that we were in, and that's how hip hop started for us. Producing and recording was not something that was in our world at the time.
Sure.
For us it was just cricket, it was just soccer, it was just school. So we had to learn and self-teach ourselves throughout the whole process. And funny story was how we started making beats was a PlayStation game.
Yes.
And where you could just put these samples together. So we'd just do that. We'd sit. I remember borrowing the game from a friend, and I sat 3 days in the house just trying to figure out this game and come up with beats. And then eventually we made a CD, and it wasn't very good, but we sold I think 50 copies at $50 each, and that gave us the money to start with our mics and our whatever we needed to do. And yeah, that's who we are today.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. Who were your influences growing up in music?
Well, my influences started obviously at a young age, so it was like obviously the old school hip hop stuff. But I couldn't say that completely resonated with me because it was like not my time, and it was like gangster shit, and I basically I liked it, but it wasn't enough. So my influences, I would say, as I grew up, was around maybe 2013, 2012, 2011. It was Drake, J. Cole, Lil Wayne. Yeah, basically they were like the moguls in the game. So yeah, I definitely say it was those guys. J. Cole, massive. As of recently, I listen to like people like Russ, and not many people know about Marlon Craft. Not many people know about, because I feel like it's with these guys, the music that they put out is very motivational and it's a good influence to the youth as compared to most of the things in the new hip hop of our generation. Like it influences a lot of things like drugs and and killing and all of that stuff, and we don't want that. So my plan initially when I started eventually was to just even put out a song that would like change someone's day for the better.
Sure.
Right, and like there's a specific song that I made. It was called Views, and on the song, basically I spoke. It took me like months to write because like I had to like keep breaking it down. It wasn't an easy song to write. So when I wrote the song, I basically wrote a lot about I wrote from the heart, and I wrote about my life. And with this song, what I wanted to do is, I don't want to change the world with it. I don't want to, but even if like 10 kids were like influenced and like on that specific day had their head changed and changed their mood and made them feel better and made them like maybe do something that they wouldn't do, rather than put them on something that they shouldn't do. So basically, that's the goal, and I feel like to an extent I'm grateful that we're here, and I'm grateful that we're able to make a difference in our communities. Ryan knows the same. In Phoenix, he's doing that. He's been doing it for a while now. In Chatsworth, we are doing it. From the time we started to now, there's like 20, 30, 40 kids that all want to rap, and like do that stuff, which is good because it keeps them off the streets lurking, and our streets are not the best,
100%.
Right, and this is Chatsworth, and Phoenix is the same. So I want to put out music that eventually just opens kids' minds to to know that dreams are real. It's real, no matter what. You don't have to get famous in a day. You don't have to get rich in a month. But you have to do what's in your heart. You gotta express your heart.
And I like that you're taking it back to the art as opposed to this mumble rap that we hear often, especially as us here on radio. We have to play some of the mainstream artists that have made it, so it's great that you are taking back there. Now you spoke about a little bit about, when it comes to, gang culture and things like that in our communities. Now, when it comes to music, especially rap music, it gets heavily associated with that, especially some of the more hedonistic elements associated with, in pop culture. How do you navigate your traditional values with this world of hip hop, as it were?
So for me personally, a lot of my music is drawn from my experiences. So I think for me it's a little bit easy to not include that type of lifestyle because I wasn't included in that type of lifestyle. Yes, it was around me, but I wasn't ever sort of a gang member or anything. So that's not the experiences that I would have to talk about. So that's, for me, my music is just the experiences that I can draw from, and that's what I invest into my music.
And when it comes to this current single that you both are on, 777, what can you tell me about it? How did the collaboration come about?
Okay, this is a little bit of a funny one. So my producer, Malek, who's not here, who's maestro, is killing it. He's amazing, for real. So he actually would force me. It's been like probably a year and a half. He'd send me this beat all the time. He'd be like, bro, jump on this thing, please. It's fire, jump on it. We gotta do something with it. So I just left it. I look at the emails all the time, and this one night he sent it. He was like, please, just use this beat. I'll send you hundreds, but use this one. So I was like, so Ryan and I spoke at that time. B.I.P and I spoke, So I said, bro, let's work on this beat. What do you think about it? And he heard it, and he was like, stop, because we were planning to work on something, because we have worked on a cypher previously about 3 years ago that made some waves in Chatsworth and Durban here and there a little bit. So when I heard the beat, it wasn't anything like how I'd normally a project takes me, like weeks. Sometimes I can't finish it, but this was like I just let it flow. We wanted to have fun with it,
Sure.
So we just had a lot of fun with this song. I wrote the song surprisingly in a day day, maybe a few hours in the day. I told Ryan about it. He wrote it fast, and then he sends his verse back. He was like, "You gotta write." I was like, "Okay." And then before you know it, this project was just like extremely fun. We enjoyed writing it, and this wasn't like our woke shit. To like to keep the crowd there, because that's not for the industry. So this was like to attract the guys to be like, whoa, this is cool music. These guys are cool. So when they follow us, and then when they get into our other stuff, they'll be like, open their minds up, to like not do the drugs and not be gang banging, and not do all of that stuff. Because like a lot of the influences like these days, like XXX Tentacion and Juice WRLD and stuff, I mean, they make really good music, but like I know a lot of the kids, I mean, my family members, little brothers and cousins and everything, they're like very influenced by this music, which causes the youth these days to be very depressed, and it's made depression and anxiety a trend. Right, and we don't want to do that. We want to turn it around and make life positive, and let them see the light. Let them see that don't be scared of your dreams, no matter what anyone tells you. You just gotta do it.
100%. Now, when it comes to an EP or any albums, when it comes to new music, do you have any plans to drop any soon?
Okay, so I am working on a 12-track EP, so that will hopefully be dropped by June. So yeah, that's as far as it goes.
And yourself?
Okay, I haven't dropped anything yet, but the plan is probably by March, end of March, I'm dropping my first mixtape.
Wow.
This mixtape is going to be basically a collaboration of all the songs that I've already done, like the singles, but I have a few more in the closet. But the ones that I do have that I'm going to drop aren't the singles, aren't like the most vibey ones, but it's the ones to open the mind. So by March, I think 18th, I'm going to drop my first mixtape. It's called Hood Famous. And I'm gonna do what he did, I'm gonna make records, I'm gonna give it out, we're gonna make merchandise, and we're gonna take over.
And it's probably Chasway.
Yeah, we're gonna take over.
100%. Now, COVID-19 put a dampener on the live circuit, as it were, for about 2 years. Now, when it comes to touring and putting on gigs and shows and stuff, do you have plans for that?
Yeah, so that definitely did put a damper on performances, etc. So that's actually been cut down to zero. So look, we enjoy the live element of music. I mean, that's the soul of music, live music, and but there's a lot of things that goes behind music before you get to that live stage. So me personally, I use this time to collaborate, to make connections, to establish relationships with a whole lot of new people. Because like now, like when we started music, like 2008, 2009, social media wasn't really pushing Indian artists and,
Yes.
and those kind of things. So now it's like more people know us now. So like there's a lot of guys coming in like, hey, can we do a verse with you? Hey, can we do this with you? And the thing is, like from our point of view, like me personally, I'm not like, okay, I'll do the verse for you for 1,000 rand or 2,000 rand. I'm like, okay, let's do the verse, because I don't know the talent, the potential that you have until I see it. So yeah, like that's how I met these guys as well.
Now, when it comes to, our listeners out this morning, is there anything exclusive you can tell us that's coming out in the next couple of days, couple of weeks in terms of your world of music?
I don't have anything in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I have some work, a lot of projects in work. If I go through my notes, I have like probably two unfinished albums I had to record, get in the studio. It hasn't been obviously the easiest journey because I just started. So in terms of equipment and where we're going to record, we don't have like, at first we never had the proper studio. The first song that I made, I recorded in my car. on some some call center headphone stuff. I use that stuff, and like it's our producer who also just is naturally talented, who was able to like to make that work for us. Even though we recorded on like call center headphones in a car, I mean that's not normal, but the song still did well. And I think from here on out we're just gonna be making more and more music. Yes, COVID did that kind of stop us from making videos and whatnot, but basically, what can I say? As he said, we're trying to help other people and build that. So that's what I'm sure Baller Inc. Productions stand for, and 7911. So if someone were to come to me, if a kid were to come to me and be like, I want to rap with you, or because you guys are cool, I'll be like, of course, let's go, let's put it up there. So my next goal is to set up a proper studio where we could help others. So instead of being out there, you come in here and you work on your art. Like no matter what it be, if you want to get into rapping, if you want to get into writing, if you want to get into videography, there's a space for everything in this business. There's a space for everything, and we want to build teams and basically create employment for all our people and get them, doing better. Have people passionate about things,
100%. Taking it back to the art and taking it back to the community.
Yes,
what you're doing. One final question: where can people find your music?
Okay, I'm just B.I.P SA on Facebook and B.I.P SA on Instagram as well.
And yourself?
Yeah, basically I am Malek 13 on Instagram. On Facebook it's Liaquat Malek. You said Liquat. It's Liaquat Malek, right? So it's Arabic, but I understand. That's okay. It's Arabic. Most people don't get it, so it's just Malek or Leo. But yeah, so that's basically the entire thing.
Thank you so much for being on Sunrise FM this morning. I want to wish you both all the best for your endeavors in 2022, and we can't wait to see more of what you're going to put out there this
Yeah,
week.
we're gonna be blessed.
Thank you so much.
It's B.I.P, boy.
Okay, with a young brown rebel.